Okay, nerds and geeks, boys and girls all around the world. My name is Joshua, aka Future Filmmaker 39480, and I'm here to talk about another set of 2018 related stuff I've seen, but I haven't reviewed yet. This will be the third and final 2018 catch up review, even though I still have to review First Man, but I'm going to give First Man its own individual review for reasons. But this is going to consist of the Elseworlds crossover from the Arrowverse, the 2019 historical film On the Basis of Sex, the Netflix movies Dumplin and Mowgli Legend of the Jungle, and TV series from Netflix and Lifetime with the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is Netflix, and the second Riverdale related TV show, and the Lifetime TV series You, which I know Jillian Trice and Cassie Singer, two of my friends from high school, 10th grade, has been wanting to hear my thoughts on this, and you're finally going to get them. So, we're going to start off with the TV series You. Let's begin, shall we? So, You is basically a Netflix Lifetime thriller. It originally premiered on Lifetime, but they decided to move it from Lifetime to Netflix for reasons. But this is based on a novel of the same name by Caroline Kepnes, and it follows Joel Goldberg, and he's a New York bookstore manager who falls in love with a customer named Guinevere Beck, and then quickly becomes obsessed with her through social media. So basically, this is showing you what you would do for love, and he crosses paths and with the female writer, but it becomes even more sinister when the writer becomes the manager's obsession. So he uses social media and the internet, and he uses every tool at his disposal to become close to her, even going as far as to remove any obstacle, including people that stands in his way of getting to her. Going into this show, I was actually pretty excited about watching a show like this. I was actually quite curious about it. It was a psychological thriller, and it was a crime drama, and it was a different take on the social media thing. And I actually thought that was pretty good to see. But I didn't know much about the cast. The only cast member I knew who was going to be in this was Shay Mitchell. And if you know the channel, I am a fan of Shay Mitchell, especially from Pretty Little Liars and The Possession of Hannah Grace. And she is a great actress, Canadian Filipino woman that I'm attracted to. Um, and so I gave it a watch, and I must admit, I really enjoy myself. Yeah. I love the story of this. I like the story here. It it has a very cool theme of exploring the blurred lines between love and obsession and the hero and the villain. And it also I like how it explores the dangers of social media culture with an emphasis on lack of digital privacy. And you have good trashy fun and thrilling drama, and it has a great social media horror story, and it works its way under the skin instead of there. You have obsessiveness, you have some great twists and turns, so a lot of great interesting things that they decided to go with this season. I think that was very well handled most part. From the minute I saw the pilot, immediately became hooked on the show because this is a very different kind of show than what I usually watch. It is much different from SpongeBob and 13 Reasons Why and Stranger Things, even the Arrowverse shows. So I was quite curious to see how they would pull this off, and they pulled it off very well. like I said originally, this was on Lifetime, but they took it from Lifetime and removed it to Netflix, which I think is a better decision. But I understand why some people wanted to see this on Lifetime. But I thought that from the moment you just get hooked, it's like a TV show you get hooked on, and every episode just got better and better and better and better and better. I love the character of Joe as our main bad guy. He's very intimidating. He's very incredibly. I mean, he gives a great performance here as Joe Badgley. Elizabeth Leo as Catherine. I really loved her in this series, this first season. You also got other actors like John Stamos in here, and I thought that was really awesome. I thought that was really cool to see a guy from Full House. His that was very awesome to see. Then you have, of course, Shay Mitchell from Pretty Little Liars. Shay Mitchell, what more can I say of her? I love this woman. I think she's very beautiful. I think she's very attractive. And seeing her here, I think she was really good in her screen time as Peaches. Even though I do admit, I feel like she got a little underplayed here. I'm not sure if that was the point, but eh. And just the way it's played out, you get a very nice, interesting way of doing this, and I thought that was just well done to see that, and this show doesn't stray away from the point that it's trying to make. It's showing it does. You do have your usual lovey-dovey kissing scenes. You do have your drama stuff. You do have the usual social media thriller aspect. And from the episodes I was watching the show, I just said I wanted to keep watching, and I just thought that you was very awesome. There's not a single episode that there's not a single episode that I hate. I only wish that Shay Mitchell had more screen time than she did, but what can you do? But that doesn't hurt the grade that I will give you. Yeah, my grade for you, I will have to give this a seal of approval. That's my honest grade, and yeah, I stand by that. This is a really great show. Next up here, we have Elseworlds. Now, Elseworlds, all I'm just gonna say is I'm not gonna explain the synopsis. I just want to say that this was great. This was great. I really thought this was very entertaining, and I thought it was very nice to see another crossover like this. It was fun. It was very entertaining. It was very awesome to watch, and just I really had fun with this crossover. I thought that seeing Arrow, the Flash, and Supergirl were really cool. They were really cool to see that. It was very fun. It was very nice just to get that, and it was awesome. And of definitely having Lois Lane in there was really awesome. And I love the story of Elseworlds. The story is the most interesting part of this crossover. I really thought that was handled all very well with the story that they were trying to do and the decisions that they made. I thought was very amazing. I really loved the story, and I thought it was just very cool. It was very cool to see a different side of this story that I was really intrigued about. And through all three episodes of this crossover, all three parts, I I felt like I was connected with each of these characters, from Supergirl to Arrow to Flash to Superman, Tyler Hoechlin, and there is the Legends of Tomorrow. They're not there, so it was alright. And I love how this focuses on five, on the five main heroes: Oliver Queen, Barry Allen, Carl Danvers, Clark Kent, Kate Kane. I like how they have it switched to where Oliver is the Flash and Barry is the Arrow. That was really cool. At first, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but when you have the evil Superman as the black suit, initially, because of my little hatred towards the black suit, I was not really feeling it, but I actually thought it was very fine. And it was cool seeing John Wesley Ship, but I do wish that he had more to do from the Flash as a Flash from the 90s. You also have Psycho Pirate, Monitor, you have Nora Freeze, you have John Deegan, Ruby Rose is Batwoman. It was pretty cool to see. And I am looking forward to her series. And there's a lot of great Easter eggs and nods to past DC TV shows and media. And there is a little bit of a cliffhanger because they are setting up another awesome crossover with Crisis on Infinite Earths. I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. So overall, I really don't have any bad things to say about this crossover. I really enjoyed Elseworlds, and I am definitely going to give it an epitastic. It was very fun crossover. Next up, we have On the Basis of Sex. So, On the Basis of Sex stars Felicity Jones, Armie Hammer, Sam Waterston, and Kathy Bates. And the plot of this is that this is based on a true story about Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And in this movie, On the Basis of Sex, we see a young Ruth Bader Ginsburg and her husband, and they are married, and they attend both classes. She attends both of her classes while caring for Martin and their infant baby. And so they're hired by a firm in New York. Well, however, she transfers to a different college, but she's unable to find a position with a law firm because the number of the firms she applies wants to hire women. So she decided to take matters into her own hands, and she and her husband works together to bring a groundbreaking case of gender discrimination before the Supreme Court. Now, I will say this does have some inaccuracies going for it, which is one of the bigger problems with this film. I do feel like there is some inaccuracies to it, and some of those could have been a little cleared up. But, however, the film is well acted and is well directed. I really loved this film. I thought it was very, very great. I loved the story. of it, seeing the story about Ruth Bader Ginsburg told, I was very curious about that, and it looked really interesting from the trailer. However, I didn't like the one criticism that they had there. I kind of felt like that was just not worth it. And like I said, some of the inaccuracies does show, and I felt like you could have done a little better with those inaccuracies there. And yeah, the point of the dialogue, there is a scene where Ginsburg tells a judge the word freedom doesn't appear in the Constitution. It does appear in the First Amendment, but the scriptwriter has defended that, saying that the Constitution, like the country, is always open to improvement. The acting is really well done, especially from Felicity Jones, who I know John Adventure 7195 is not a fan of her, and that's fine. But I don't mind Felicity Jones as an actress. I never have a problem with her. She was good in Rogue One, and yeah, the performances were well done. I think Sam Warston really did a great job. And also, I thought the rest of the cast really did a great job, and it was it was very interesting. It was very awesome. Sam Warston was really great as Aaron Griswold. Army Hammer did a great job as the husband. You also have Kelly Spaney and Callum Shaneker as part of the Ginsburg family. You also got Stephen Roof, a cameo by the real Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and you got Kathy Bates as Dorothy King. So the cast was really great. I think the direction by Mimi Leader was really great, and there are some the cinematography and the music was really great. It runs over the course of 2 hours, and I can see why this movie didn't do so hot with people. Like I said, it does have its inaccuracies, but it's not a bad movie. So I really enjoy On the Basis of Sex. It's not as 100% groundbreaking as is a real life subject, but I like seeing the story, and it is well acted and inspirational biopic. And honestly, I kind of like this more than Bohemian Rhapsody, to be honest. I like Bohemian Rhapsody, but you don't disrespect the whole aspect of Freddie Mercury being gay. So I'm going to give the On the Basis of Sex a highly recommended. Next up, we have Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle. Now, the plot of Mowgli is he's raised by a wolf pack in the jungles of India. As he learns the often harsh rules of the jungle under the tutelage of a bear named Baloo and a panther named Bagheera, Mowgli becomes accepted by the animals of the jungle as one of their own. But the fearsome tiger Shere Khan doesn't take a liking to him. But there may be greater dangers lurking in the jungle as Mowgli comes face to face with his human origins. Going into this movie, I was very excited about this movie, especially when at first it was supposed to come out in 2016, but the film was delayed numerous times to create space between itself and the John Favreau film and to work on special effects. But then the rights got sold to Netflix, and it was only released in select theaters on November 29th. And also because Andy Serkis was directing, I became very much excited about it. So there's no denying I was very curious about watching this film. But did the movie live up to my expectations? Yeah, it did. It does have some problems, but I will say it is a better attempt at a darker attempt version of making a classic story like the Jungle Book darker. It is a better attempt than Snow White and the Huntsman. and The Huntsman Winter's War combined, because those movies I cannot stand them. This movie, on the other hand, I actually like. I actually like Mowgli Legend of the Jungle. Andy Serkis' direction is top notch. Andy Serkis, this is the first time directorial debut, and we had a lot of those in 2018 with Karen Gillan and The Party's Just Beginning, which was amazing, and A Star is Born, which was equally as amazing. This is not a 10 out of 10, but it is a darn good film. I don't see the criticism that this movie is too overly dark. I will no, I will say it can become way too dark in some areas. It can become way too dark in some areas, and it definitely does hurt the film a little bit. But I will say, for the most part, I thought it was handled very well, and I thought that was really well done, and it actually had a purpose for going the route that good went. I thought it went into some unexpected choices that you usually wouldn't expect, and I thought the way they did it was just it was very well handled. Andy Serkis handled this with care. You could tell he loves the Jungle Book story. The special effects are really amazing for the budget that it had. The special effects are my favorite aspects of the movie, and just great special effects as well. I really love the special effects here, choices that they decided to go here. I thought that was very well handled. I thought it was very well done. Voice acting from everyone is great. Benedict Cumberbatch as Shere Khan, coming off of Avengers Infinity War. This guy is a great actor. No exception about that. No doubt about it. Naomi Harris was great. Kate Blanchett. Um, Jack Raynor. Louis Ashbourne Serkis, the son of Andy Serkis, who was in The Kid Who Would Be King. Andy Serkis himself, he's great. So you have some good acting all the way around, especially from Rohan Should, I believe, who plays the part of Mowgli. I thought he was very well casted, and he did a great job. So yeah, I gotta give him credibility because he really did impress. Also, I must admit that the way the the story is laid out, I thought the story was laid out very well for a movie like this, and I just sat there saying to myself, I'm actually impressed with what Andy Serkis was able to do. Unfortunately, the problems I do have is that it does go on for at least there is a point where the movie does drag. There's no doubt about that. So I will say it does take a while for things to get going. And there are some moments where I just feel like it gets a little too visceral and a little too intense for younger kids. Because this is the Jungle Book, and kids are gonna want to watch it. But the story was interesting. The voice acting was great, and I really enjoyed what they were able to do here. So for that, I gotta give this movie at least a highly recommended. I loved Mowgli Legend of the Jungle. I wish this was in theaters, but unfortunately, no, that wasn't the case. Now we are gonna get to talk about the one I've been waiting to talk about for a while, and I'm so glad I've been waiting for a while to finally talk about it. And that is The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. This is a spin off to the Riverdale. A It takes place in the same continuity as Riverdale, and let me just say this was amazing. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, awesome. It's very awesome. It's now this adaptation is very different from the animated show and the Melissa Joan Hart one. This stars Kiernan Shipka, Ross Lynch, Miranda Otto, Lucy Davis. And so this is a dark coming of age story that traffics in horror and occult. In this reimagined version, Sabrina Spellman wrestles her to reconcile her dual nature, half witch, half mortal, while standing against the evil forces that threaten her family, including her aunts Hilda and Zelda, and the daylight world humans inhabit. And like I said, it's awesome. This is the first 10 episodes, and this is the first season, and this was gonna be on CW, which I would be even more happier if this was on CW. But I guess people it worked better as a Netflix series. So I I really liked the fact that they decided to do something different with the Sabrina, the teenage witch character, and I thought that was very well handled. I thought Kiernan Shipka did a really great job. And here, so Ross Lynch, he's moved on from Disney Channel and definitely shows here. He's picking more adult projects, just like Olivia Holt and Dove Cameron and Laura Morano, which I think is best for them, and especially Sophia Carson with Pretty Little Lies of Perfection is coming out next week on Freeform. I can't wait for that. I will be reviewing the pilot. Um, let's just say that every episode of this series is great. Every episode was outstanding. I thought it was I thought it was magnificently well chosen. I thought it was very well handled. I didn't feel anything. It was very quick, straight to the point. It didn't waste no games. It focused on what it wanted to focus on with Sabrina and her family and the relationships that she was going through. And I just thought the way it was handled was well executed, well done, and well intrigued. I really liked that. It was very well intrigued. And I just thought that it really definitely showed that they wanted to put some effort into it. They really wanted to do really well here. The music, the technical aspects are very well done, and the writing is the strongest aspect, which is my favorite portion of this entire series. So I can't really talk about this without mentioning the writing. I think this is just as great as Riverdale. So, wow, I gotta admit, it was awesome. You did your job, and you did your job, and you did it right. So the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is going to have to get my bronze seal of approval because it's that impressive. That impressive to me. Last but certainly not least is Dumplin. This was another Netflix related thing that came out starring Jennifer Aniston and Kelly and I forgot the other girl's name, but I know her name. Anyway, Dumplin tells the story of this girl and her mom was a beauty pageant, and so you know what? Scratch that. The plus-size teenage daughter of a former beauty queen signs up for her mom's pageant as a protest that escalates when other contestants follow in her footsteps, revolutionizing the pageant into a small Texas town. This is a coming-of-age comedy film directed by Anne Fletcher, written by Kristen Hahn, based on a young adult novel of the same name by Julie Murphy. Oh, Danielle McDonald. Jennifer Aniston plays the mom of Dale Rush. You also have Maddie Ballo, Luke Benward, Dove Cameron, Harold Perrineau. This was good. This was really good. I love the music by Dolly Parton. I am a fan of Dolly Parton. She's great, great singer, and I have to say that going into this, I was pretty curious to see how this would play out because it really kind of showed that Netflix could do something out of the box besides Stranger Things, 13 Reasons Why, and I like most of the Netflix movies that I've seen, and I love Dude which was the best Netflix movie they came out with last year, and this was really great. I love how this played out. I thought that they really made decisions in choosing what they wanted to do with the story. It follows the source material quite well. You really get the whole sympathy for the character of Dumplin throughout the whole movie because she's being judged by her weight, and you really do feel the whole sympathy for what's going on here. I really do feel the sympathy for what's going on here, and it just brings out different kind of a different kind of film, a different kind of production. The direction by Anne Fletcher is great. I love the direction of Anne Fletcher. She does a really great job in the directing department. I must admit, the writing is very strong here. The acting is really good from all of your cast members, from Danielle McDonald to Dove Cameron to Jennifer Aniston, of course. The songs are very well chosen. I love the songs. The editing is very well done. It's not a single dull moment here. It it feels consistent. It feels complete. It feels well handled, and it's just it's just very interesting and very well chosen, and it's just very awesome, and it's just very very amazing to see, and just the acting is very well written and is very well chosen. I just thought this was a very great film, and definitely one of the most overlooked. If you have not seen it, I definitely recommend it. Like I said, I'm going to save First Man. I'm going to do that in a separate standalone video, and that will conclude my 2018 reviews. So, yeah. As for now, I'm gonna give Dumplin an epitastic. So, I appreciate you guys who stayed for the whole 35 minutes by the time this is uploaded for this, and I will see you guys in the final 2018 video, which will be for First Man. So, what do you guys think of most of these movies? Have you seen? Have you seen them? Have you not? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Be sure to follow all my social media links down below. You guys keep it cool, enjoying the epitasticness, and I will see you guys for more. Let's keep the channel going, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.